Hi there, YouTube. So today I have been out to visit my mother, which is always incredibly depressing. So let's get started. Today's Kingdom Melody is what I remember as the baptism song, and I will have to tell you that this is the first one of these videos that has really triggered me. Like, it was hard to sing this song.
It gave me the heebie-jeebies a little bit.
So this song was played at every convention after the baptism talk, and occasionally it was played at the meeting when the focus was on progressing toward baptism, or if somebody was disfellowshipped and the elders were feeling particularly passive-aggressive that day. I hear that now the choice of what song happens at what meeting is mandated like everything else from the society, but I've been out for a long time, so I'm not really sure about that. As I recall, this was another song that I actually liked. Or I really should say I disliked it a little bit less than I did the others. But I can't say that anymore because the memory of it was much better than the actual song is when I went back and looked at it. It's just, whoa, it's not pretty. So anyway, the song first appeared as song number 13 in the 1984 songbook. And it is still in the 2017 songbook, only now it is song number 52, and there are some changes to it. I've also realized that there's another couple of songbooks in between there, between 84 and 2017. There's a 2009 and a 2016 songbook. So, yeah. If I started including those, though, I think that these videos would be too long to be interesting. So, don't want to bore you guys. Anyway, 1984, verse 1. Because Jehovah created the universe so grand, to him belong the earth and sky, the works of his own hand. The breath of life he has given, and to his creatures shown, that worthy is he to have the praise, the worship of all his own. Okay, so what we're learning here is that if you create something, then it belongs to you exclusively, and you deserve to be praised and worshiped for it, okay? Now, I agree, praise is nice. I like to hear a good job every once in a while, but I don't think it's really seemly or normal to expect worship in exchange for your work. Praise maybe. Worship is a bit much. There was no change to verse 1 in 2017, surprisingly. Okay, so let's go to 1984, verse 2. The ancient nation of Israel, at Sinai they did say, the law Jehovah's given us, we gladly will obey. He was their husbandly owner. Excuse me? What? Okay, all right, wait. Husbands are not owners, people. This might have been the case back in Bible time, but it is definitely not the case now. This is both offensive and gross. And it should have been offensive and gross in 1984 as well. He bought them from the sea. Wait, when did the sea start selling people? I don't get it. A nation of dedicated ones, they always should prove to be. So in the 2017 songbook, this verse is actually deleted. I wonder why. In looking at the song, I actually noticed something. Every song in the songbook has at least one scriptural reference, right? Well, in the 1966 songbook, if you look, it's pretty easy to tell that the song was at least partially drawn from the scripture cited, most of the time. But this song, for the same song in 1984 and 2017, there are completely different scriptural references given. In 1984, the scripture was Exodus 39:30. So out of curiosity, I said, well, let's see what this is. So I went out there and I looked it up, And it says, they made the plate of the holy crown of pure gold and inscribed it like the engravings of a signet, holy to the Lord. Okay, granted that is not the New World Translation, but I don't see how that has anything at all to do with this song. Because that's it. That is the whole verse. There's no dedication, no baptism, no creating, no husbandly ownership, no oceanic purchases. Just a description of part of a priest costume, which has absolutely nothing to do with this song at all. Okay, so 2017, there are a completely different set of scriptural references. The first one is Hebrews 10, 7 through 9, which says, "Then I said, here I am, it is written about me in the scroll. I have come to do your will, my God. First he said, sacrifices and offerings, burnt offerings and sin offerings you did not desire, nor were you pleased with them, though they were offered in accordance with the law. Then he said, here I am, I have come to do your will. He sets aside the first to establish the second." That's it. It's here I am coming to do your will. Nothing about dedication or baptism or following rules and laws or anything. There are some additional scriptures that are referenced at the bottom of the page, but they are repeats of the same statement in all the Gospels. It says, "Then Jesus said to his disciples, whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me." Oh, but wait, that's the King James Version. If you go to the New World Translation, it says, "Then Jesus said to his disciples, if anyone wants to come after me, let him disown himself and pick up his torture stake and keep following me." Whoa, that is a bit of embellishment there, Watchtower. There is a lot of territory between deny and disown. That is ridiculous. And don't even get me started on the torture stake, okay? Oh, God. So all of this makes this entire song a bit of a stretch, doesn't it? Oh, well, let's move on. 1984, verse 3. In water Jesus was baptized, to righteousness fulfilled. Thank you, Captain Obvious, because we thought he might have been baptized in a pool full of spaghetti noodles or something. And humbly he did there present himself to do God's will. If the witnesses teach that Jesus was God's son, because they don't believe in the Trinity or this, divinity of Jesus thing. So he was God's son. And if their whole story were true, then wouldn't Jesus have presented himself to do God's will before he ever came to earth? Or does this statement imply that God sent him down here without his consent? Whoa. When he came up from the Jordan as God's anointed son, obedient and loyal he would serve as God's consecrated one. Wait a minute. Was Jesus not God's anointed son before his baptism? In 2017, what was verse 3 is now verse 2. It starts the same. In water, Jesus was baptized to righteousness fulfill. And then it starts changing. It says, in solemn prayer, he said to God, I've come to do your will. All right, so this does have some bearing on the scripture that they said it comes from. Okay, that's good. It continues, when he came up from the Jordan as God's anointed son, because apparently he wasn't before, obedient and loyal, he would pray, my Father, your will be done. So to recap, he is solemn instead of humble in 2017, and he prays a lot more. But he's no longer consecrated. Weird. Okay, 1984, verse 4. We come before you, Jehovah, to praise your name so great, disowning self with humble hearts, our lives we dedicate. All right, guys, disowning people, especially yourself, is not a great idea. There are so many issues here. Especially when the God you're dedicating yourself to here is conflated with a publishing company. Effectively a Ponzi scheme, a money-making venture, a scam. This is wacky. You gave your only begotten, who paid the price so high, no longer us living for ourselves, for you we shall live or die. Nope. No, 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 no. Do you notice what they've done here? Let's take it apart. You gave your only begotten who paid the price so high, with a chord progression that pulls at your emotions. This evokes strong emotion in a religious person, particularly one who's been repeatedly conditioned, as Jehovah's Witnesses are. And then, boom, no longer living for ourselves, for you we live or die. Now, this statement is not exactly related to the first one, but following on the heels of that emotional punch, along with the resolution of the melody, is very powerful. It used to be mildly inspiring, even to me, but now it just gives me the creeps. Because y'all, living for anyone other than yourselves is nothing but a lie and a path to misery. You should live for yourself because that is literally all you are capable of doing. You cannot live for anyone else. No one else is going to live for you. This verse is effectively telling you to waste your life, to live or die at the whim of a publishing company masquerading as a mouthpiece of God. If you want to have religious faith, if you want to believe in God and dedicate your life to service or whatever because it makes you happy, then go for it. I am all for it. But this right here, this is awful. Anyway. 2017, this is verse 3, and there is no change because why would they change something so effective? This is really creeptastic. I can't believe I liked this song. I mean, it's kind of freaking me out right now. So I'm going to call it a day and go do something else.